All right, welcome back. You watching Liquid Lunch, Stop the Steal TV, and never has the new title of the show, Stop the Steal, been more appropriate than now, because we're seeing overwhelming evidence come up now. And you heard in the beginning of this whole election debacle, they were saying, well, there is no evidence of fraud. And then they said there is no widespread evidence of fraud. And then they said there is no widespread significant evidence of fraud. And then there was no widespread significant systemic fraud. And now it's down to there's no consequential election fraud. And, you know, oddly enough, the Bill Barr, what he said a few weeks ago was, we have looked into some of this stuff, and so far we haven't found enough evidence that would change the result of the election. That's what he said. We're looking into it. We have not, as of now, we have not found evidence that would change the direction. So he didn't say we found no evidence, and anyone who says there is no evidence is just full of it. And you got to realize that. And I talk to the audience a lot about, you know, simple negotiating tactics, simple debate tactics. And they say there is no evidence of fraud. That's what the headline is on. You Google Bill Barr election fraud, all the headlines come up. Barr says no evidence of fraud. He said, we looked into it and we haven't seen enough evidence. We haven't seen substantial evidence as of now to change the election. So, you know, the DOJ doesn't typically go out there. The DOJ doesn't typically go out there and comment on open investigations. Okay. And by the way, every so often I'm lucky enough to get Rudy Giuliani on the show. I text him here and there. I listen to his radio show all the time. And I'm looking at this thing, and, you know, Rudy Giuliani, as a U.S. attorney, prosecutor, he actually used the Racketeering Influence and Corruption Organization, the RICO Act. He used it like it's never been used before, to take down members of the alleged, you know, New York City mafia. And if anybody knows how to weaponize the RICO Act, that's Rudy Giuliani. And I texted him today, and I would be really, if you start hearing Rudy Giuliani talking about this being a RICO case, hopefully listen to me, not listen to me, but hopefully he at least took it as something to think about. Maybe he's laughing at me right now, but this is a RICO case. What we're seeing now is evidence, like yesterday's evidence. Mike, do we have the video of the suitcases? Yeah, let's show that again, because I want to talk about it. I want to take a look at it again. So yeah, there's no significant evidence of voter fraud, right? There's no significant evidence. No, we don't have voter fraud.
In the morning, and we're going to roll this back and show it to you. There you go. So now they're going to start pulling these ballots out from under this table. This table, the black one, was placed there by the lady with the blonde braids at about 8:22 a.m. in the morning. So she put that table there. So the same person who's staying behind now, the same person who cleared the place out under the pretense that we're going to stop counting, is the person who put the table there at 8:22 in the morning. Yeah, I saw 4 suitcases come out from underneath the table. Yeah, upper right hand, you see the gentleman in the red. So he just pulled one out.
I mean, there's all kinds of protocols, all right? I've been around a lot of elections. I've been a poll watcher. I've been all kinds of different things. I've been a candidate. I got all the Board of Elections training, all the crap you got to know, supposedly, to be a poll watcher or a poll worker. There are all kinds of protocols around how you can transport documents, votes, ballots, okay? They're supposed to be in these cases with these locks, and they have like a snap tie that you can't be broken and all this other stuff, right? In what manual does it say, please transport ballots to the voting booth in a suitcase? in a Samsonite. Okay? So here they are. They push the Republicans out. Intimidation. And I'm getting to my RICO case right now. Intimidation. Okay? Intimidation. Okay? They lock out all the Republican poll watchers, or at least they think they do. And that's how they got screwed on this one. Thank God. Okay? So first the intimidation. Then comes the fraud. Okay, everybody's gone. Pull out the suitcases. So they knew already that at some point they were going to shut down the voting. Okay? Or they were going to just do some sinister stuff overnight anyway, because they didn't all of a sudden say, oh my goodness, he's losing. Let's hurry up and get some ballots down here. This was already planned. So premeditated. Intimidation starts. Then the voter fraud, the fake ballots come out. Then they start feeding it into a machine that is tabulating federal election results. So they're making fraudulent representations to the U.S. government that these are legal and valid votes, okay? And then all of a sudden, after the dump, all these precincts in all these blue cities where they had the bags under the table and the bags coming in and the bins and the boxes coming in, the same thing happened everywhere. They boarded up the windows. They broke a pipe in Georgia. They had a plan, okay? And they all had extra ballots. Whoop, here we go. Let's go under the table here. And then ballots. So a RICO is people acting in concert, even though they're not an organization or this or that. It's a loose organization. But if they're all doing the same thing, okay, it's an act of corruption, racketeering, influence, corruption organization. So this is a corrupt organization. And it's very simple. This is what I'm wondering. In Staten Island, New York, where there's basically no law now, okay, governor's nuts, mayor's nuts, our local borough president is AWOL, literally AWOL, because small businesses are literally dying. People are in the streets going crazy because they're watching their friends' businesses die. And our borough president, James Otto, is AWOL. Absent without leave, because we haven't heard from him, seen him. I hope he's okay, to be honest with you. But he's one of God's people like me, and I love him for that. But he's AWOL in this battle. And Andrew Lanza, New York State Senator, Michael Riley, Joe Borelli, New York City Councilman. Nicole Malatakis called in. Michael Cusick, Democrat. Vito Fossella, longest sitting Republican congressman in Staten Island history. All these local political figures are here, talking to people, calling all the agencies, hey, we got to work with these businesses. No. But our borough president, the guy who has a direct line to the mayor, because he's the borough president, our borough president's AWOL right now. Scott, I don't think you want to come in this segment because I'm talking about, our local leadership and the guys that are really putting their name on the line and going to bat, at least trying, and other people are absent. They're just the AWOL. In the military, that's like the most humiliating thing you could say about a soldier, I think, is AWOL. I don't know. I'm not a military member. God bless all of them. But I've heard from people that were in the military. What was that, Mikey? Mike, I didn't hear you. Oh, okay. All right. So anyhow, a lot's going down. And I think on the federal level, I think the move is that the president's team should move to bring a federal, a RICO Act case against the people that we have on tape. We have them on tape, rolling what we think are votes and then feeding them into a machine. So these are federal crimes and happen now. We know it happened in a number of polling places. So whoever the election leaders were at those polling places, we got to go get them. Because if they were in Staten Island, 25 sheriffs come to the door for a small business who's trying to stay alive. So in Staten Island, there's a little different type of enforcement than I guess on the federal election, on the federal level. When it's a presidential election, we have people on videotape pulling out suitcases full of ballots and feeding them into ballot machines. So let's get those people in and their supervisors and say, where'd they come from? Why'd you do it? How many did you count? It's very simple. And it happened in 4 or 5 places. We bring them all together and show the Supreme Court this thing needs to be looked at right now. we're going to have a different result. We're going to stop the steal. Right here in Staten Island, we're trying to do all we can to stop the steal of small businesses. And the government, whether they steal them with their sheriffs or whether they just strangle them into submission, they're stealing people's livelihood every single day. And right here in Staten Island, I don't think they're going to take it anymore. Take a quick break. We're in Mac's Pub right now. More Liquid Lunch, Stop the Steal right after this.